Hey everyone! Sorry it's been a while. We're going to be talking about whole foods and organic foods here on this week's episode of Think Skeptically. So many of you are probably familiar with Whole Foods. They're a grocery store that tends to appeal to those on the left, or, people who consider themselves pretty progressive or what have you. They tend to sell organic food, but my main beef with them really isn't organic food, something we'll get to later. It's that they are, in general, fairly anti-science and appeal to people who are anti-science on the left. We always hear about people on the right, the religious right, being really anti-science and enacting legislation that, is against the teaching of evolution and climate change, etc. But the left has a similar problem, and one of those manifestations is Whole Foods. If you walk into any Whole Foods and you go into their remedies aisle, or whatever they call it, their medicine aisle, you will find a huge selection of homeopathy and homeopathic remedies. Why is this a problem? Well, we have this relatively large corporation whose entire sales model is based on things being natural and good for the environment and all these other things, peddling things that aren't scientifically efficacious. Homeopathy itself, which will be a discussion for a future video, is total nonsense, and it's been proven to be total nonsense. As Tim Minchin famously said about homeopathy in his poem Storm, water has memory, and whilst memory of a long-lost drop of onion juice seems infinite, it seems to forget all the poo it's had in it. That seems to crystallize for me my biggest problem with it. It should be completely obvious to any thinking person that homeopathy is complete nonsense, and yet Whole Foods peddles it, sells it, as if it's efficacious, and that's, to me, fairly unethical. Now, as I mentioned, they also sell organic food and tend to promote organic food over conventionally grown food, and especially over GMOs. Here's the deal. The definition of organic food is pretty nebulous. There's the chemistry definition, which means anything with carbon. Of course, I'm not going to straw man the argument that way. Of course, I know that's not what they mean. However, how they do mean organic seems to be kind of pick and choose and a little bit nebulous to me. Is it things that aren't, quote, conventionally grown? Well, do you know what that means, not conventionally grown? That means that for fertilizers, they can't use those evil chemicals that they've been using for fertilizers. Instead, they use, bullshit. Cow feces, feces in general. And that can play host to a lot of pathogens, not the least of which is E. coli. I won't go into a full list of pathogens, but you can Google it. Conventionally grown food is pretty safe. I mean, as far as the studies go, and as far as the fact that all those pesticides and things that people find so dangerous are so dangerous that you can get rid of them with running water in a faucet. I know, crazy. Harmful chemicals have been found, i.e. DDT, and they've been banned. Leaving aside all of that, how do you decide what's organic? Is it something that's not GMO? Well, in my GMO video, which I'll link over here, I explain how you have to decide what's GMO or not. Is it something that's been modified over the tens of thousands of years that we've been doing agriculture and breeding plants and modifying them genetically to produce results that are better for yield or resisting pests? Or is it only those foods that we have tinkered with in the lab and then released to farmers? And how do you distinguish which those are? To me, it's fairly difficult, and it doesn't really make a difference either way because studies have shown that genetically modified foods are perfectly safe. So, doesn't really matter. It's also been shown, as I pointed out in my other video, that organic foods aren't necessarily more nutritious than GMOs. In fact, if anything, it's the opposite. Not by much, but the opposite. My favorite example of this is grape nuts. That, to me, was really funny how there's less nutritional value for non-GMO certified grape nuts than the evil, conventionally GMO-ridden grape nuts cereal. So, yeah, let's leave it at that. The organic food craze is a result of unscientific thinking by people who want to save the earth and be natural, even though it commits a really nasty naturalistic fallacy. Not everything that's natural is good for you. See lead, uranium, poison oak, etc., etc. Thanks everyone for watching this video. It was really fun to make, and I'm glad to be back making videos again. This video was brought to you by Be Secular. Be Secular is a socially conscious business focused on building awareness and community between people of all worldviews who support human rights and the separation of church and state. You can get cool t-shirts like these at besecular.com/thankssteph. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it everywhere. I'll have my social media links in the description below. And I hope you have a nice day, and remember to think skeptically.